Welcome, guys. So I want to talk about my recent theater experiences. I usually don't go to the theater that much. Before the two movies I'm going to talk about, the last thing I saw was Sonic 3, which was a little while ago, but the two movies I saw were Into Evangelion and Spider-Man. I'm going to talk about Evangelion first. This was my fifth watch of Into Evangelion, and I knew I was gonna like it going into it because I've seen it a bunch of times. But it's like, well, this is the first time I'd seen it in sub, like all the way through. Usually, just like when I watch it on Netflix or whatever, there'll be like a couple scenes where I switch to the sub just because I like how it sounds a little better. But like watching the whole thing, it was like it felt like, well, it felt a little bit fresh, but also like being in the theater and like I'll give an example of this later, but like having it felt so much more immersive. Well, one thing I want to talk about first actually, one thing I take for granted when watching it, usually I can just skip all like the company logos at the start. I couldn't this time, and my theater started laughing because of how long it was. Another thing, there was like an awkward laughter during the hospital scene. There was a couple other scenes with a little awkward laughter. But anyway, back to like the immersive thing. The fight with Asuka in the Ava series felt like so much more like, I don't know if it's the right word, but like emotional, I guess. Like you really like, oh shit, Asuka's running out of time. And then when like she gets hit with the spear, it was so loud. It was like, oh my gosh. And like the Shinji like the scream too, that was they were all very loud, and like the mid credits things were it was a nice break, and it was the first time I'd actually like watched through. Usually I just skipped the mid credits thing, but it was kind of neat. And then like seeing the whole thing in the theater just made it so much cooler. Like if you ever get the opportunity to see it in theaters and think that I've already seen it like plenty of times. No, go watch it in the theater. It's so much cooler. But anyway, on to Brand New Day. I had high expectations going into it, and they were met. It was great. Before my list, like the ranking of the Spider-Men, where my favorite was Toby, second favorite Andrew, and last was Tom. This movie boosted Tom up to my favorite. Like I gave it a little bit. It's still like, I feel bad saying Andrew's my least favorite because, I mean, to be honest, I think Andrew certainly does a better job than Toby, but Toby's movies are just better, and also I have like a lot of nostalgia for Toby's movies. I'll admit that, but Tom was just like really, really good. Like he acted so much like he was actually like really funny all the way through. He was like, instead of like Toby cracks like one or two jokes in his first movie, Tom was like, he was going off, or like the you could definitely see the Insomniac Spider-Man game inspiration with like the finishers he was doing on these guys. But like, I don't know, I also really liked Jean Grey. That was handled very well. She was like very unique compared to every other like Spider-Man villain we've had, and I really liked her. And the scene where MJ says like she doesn't love him, that was like, it was brutal, but you can't blame her because, you know, this is just some random dude in her perspective. But yeah, one slight nitpick I had, the thing that like made Jean like sympathize with Spider-Man was seeing like Aunt May and like getting to like talk with her. I feel like when she went in Punisher's mind, that it should have done something like that, because Punisher's lost his whole family and kids. Like I think she could have sympathized like with that instead of just turning it into like a joke. I mean, I see why they did it, because, you know, obviously they needed to be like in the ending with Spider-Man, but like, I don't know, I feel like they could have like handled that a little bit better, because also when he was being controlled, I feel like they could have done that with like Hulk or something instead. I don't know. But anyway, really like both movies. You know, definitely go check out Brand New Day. I mean, I have to say, out of the two, I did prefer End of Evangelion, but I just love Evangelion. I'm sorry. But anyway, that'll be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and goodbye, bon appetit.